Ladies, let me ask you something personal. Have you ever laughed or sneezed and found yourself rushing to the bathroom? If you nodded yes, you're not alone. What if I told you that a few simple exercises could help you regain control, confidence, and even improve your posture and balance? Let's talk about how you can take charge of your pelvic health, starting today. Hello my dear friends, I'm Dr. Susan Hartley, and welcome to Life After 70 Women Edition. Today, we're talking about something that affects nearly every woman as she gets older. Pelvic strength. You might be thinking, why should I worry about my pelvic muscles at this stage in life? Well, the answer is simple. A strong pelvic floor helps prevent leaks, supports your lower back, and keeps everything working as it should, from your bladder to your bowels. It's not just about physical health. It's about dignity, freedom, and quality of life. So today, I'm going to walk you through 3 exercises every woman over 70 should do to strengthen her pelvic muscles. These are easy, safe, and can be done right in your living room. Absolutely, here's an expanded version of point 1 and point 2 in Dr. Susan Hartley's warm, compassionate voice. This version speaks directly to senior women using clear language, relatable examples, and a reassuring tone, staying close to your educational and empowering goal. Ladies, let's have an honest conversation, just you and me, like 2 old friends over a warm cup of tea. You see, the pelvic floor is one of those parts of the body we often forget to talk about. It's hidden deep within us, quietly doing its job. Until one day, it doesn't. That's when we start noticing the little leaks, the urgent dashes to the bathroom, the odd sense of pressure, or even discomfort when we sit or move. These aren't just normal parts of aging. They're signs that the muscles supporting your core, your bladder, and even your bowel may be asking for help. Imagine your pelvic floor like a soft hammock made of muscle and connective tissue. This hammock stretches across the bottom of your pelvis, supporting your bladder, uterus, and rectum, all the vital organs that live in your lower belly. It holds them in place, lifts them, and controls the openings that release urine, stool, and gas. Think about that. It's not just one job, it's many, all happening without us ever having to think about it, until something shifts. Now, like any hammock that's been out in the sun and rain for years, the pelvic floor can begin to stretch and sag with time. This happens naturally with age. Add to that childbirth, weight changes, surgeries, chronic coughing, or even years of lifting grandbabies and heavy grocery bags. And those muscles can get tired. They may not bounce back the way they used to. That's not a failure on your part. It's simply a fact of life and time. But here's the good news. Muscles are not like old elastic bands that lose their snap forever. Muscles even at 70, 80 or beyond can be strengthened, toned, and reawakened. I often tell my patients, just because you can't see a muscle doesn't mean you can't work on it. When we work our arms, we see our biceps grow. When we walk regularly, we feel our legs get stronger. Your pelvic floor is no different. The only thing is, you have to learn how to feel it instead of see it. And once you do, it becomes part of your daily care routine, like brushing your teeth or stretching in the morning. And here's something else I want you to hear, clearly and kindly, you are not alone. In fact, more than half of all women over 60 experience some form of pelvic floor weakness. Some leak a little urine when they laugh or cough. Others feel heaviness, like something is dropping inside them. Some may feel too embarrassed to talk about it, even with their doctors. But not us, not here. We're going to talk about it, understand it, and do something about it, together. So let's shift our thinking. Let's stop seeing this as a weakness or a loss. Instead, let's look at it as an opportunity to reconnect with your body. Your beautiful, resilient, hard-working body that has carried you through 7 decades. The fact that you're here, listening, learning, and ready to take action. That speaks volumes about your strength. Let's talk about why this really matters. Why pelvic strength is so important after 70. This isn't just about avoiding the occasional leak or discomfort. This is about protecting your independence, your mobility, and your sense of self. It's about being able to go for that walk with your friend without worrying about finding a bathroom. It's about sitting through a grandchild's school play without discomfort or embarrassment. It's about feeling confident enough to wear what you like, go where you please, and do what makes you happy, without your body holding you back. Many of us grew up in a time when talking about women's issues was considered impolite or unnecessary. But times have changed, and so have we. We now understand that pelvic health is just as important as heart health or bone health. And when your pelvic floor is weak, the ripple effect touches everything. It can lead to back pain, poor posture, decreased balance, and even a higher risk of falls. Yes, falls. Because your core and pelvic muscles work together to stabilize your whole body. So when they're strong, you move with more ease and security. I've had women in my practice tell me they stopped doing the things they love. Gardening, swimming, volunteering, because they were too anxious about having an accident or feeling uncomfortable. And that breaks my heart. You've spent your life giving, doing, caring. You deserve to enjoy your days without that cloud of worry hanging over you. Strengthening your pelvic floor is one way to bring back that freedom. The kind that lets you enjoy lunch with friends, walk confidently through the grocery store, or dance a little in your kitchen if the mood strikes. It's also a matter of emotional well-being. When you feel strong in your body, you feel more at peace in your mind. You're less anxious, less withdrawn. You sleep better. You move better, you feel better. Pelvic floor health is not just about muscles. It's about dignity, joy, and connection. And let me say this, from one woman to another, you have every right to feel good in your own skin, no matter what your age. So if you've ever thought, this is just how it is now, I want to gently challenge that, because there is always something we can do. We may not be able to turn back the clock, but we can sure take good care of the time we have. And that starts with understanding your body, believing in its ability to heal, and taking simple, loving steps, one day at a time. You are not broken, you are not too late. You are powerful, capable, and worthy of care. And strengthening your pelvic floor is one of the most loving things you can do for yourself. Not just for now, but for all the beautiful years still ahead. Now that we understand what the pelvic floor is and why it matters so deeply, I want to gently guide you into thinking about where you are personally. Before you can move forward with exercises or routines, it helps to take a moment to tune in and notice what your body might be telling you. For many women, pelvic weakness doesn't show up all at once. It sneaks in slowly, quietly, and sometimes in ways that we don't immediately connect to our pelvic health. That's why I want to talk about the signs, the little clues your body might be giving you. Some signs are fairly obvious. Maybe you've started leaking a little urine when you sneeze or laugh, or when you pick up a heavy laundry basket. It could be a small dribble, just enough to make you change your underwear or carry a liner in your purse, just in case. That's often the first and most common symptom. It's something many women brush off or feel embarrassed about, but I want you to know there is no shame here. None. This is incredibly common, and you are not the only one going through it. If your body is whispering this to you, it's time to listen. Not with judgment, but with love and attention. Other signs might be more subtle. Have you ever felt a sense of heaviness or dragging in your lower belly, especially after standing for a while? Some women describe it as feeling like something is falling inside them, or as if they're sitting on a small ball. That feeling can be a sign of pelvic organ prolapse. When the organs the pelvic floor supports start to shift out of place, it's more common than you might think, especially after childbirth or menopause. And while the word prolapse might sound scary, it's not a life sentence. In many cases, gentle strengthening can improve those symptoms and give you real relief. Then there's the matter of urgency. Do you ever feel like you just have to get to the bathroom and fast? That sudden rush that has you walking quickly, or even running, hoping you'll make it in time. That can also be a sign that your pelvic floor isn't supporting your bladder as well as it used to. Sometimes, women even find themselves waking up multiple times during the night to use the bathroom. It interrupts your rest, leaves you tired during the day, and can affect your energy, your mood, and even your confidence. And here's something else I want you to reflect on. Your bowel movements. We don't often talk about it, but we should. If you're struggling with constipation or difficulty fully emptying your bowels, your pelvic muscles may be involved. These muscles help coordinate the release of waste, and when they're weak or out of sync, it can lead to straining or discomfort. The pelvic floor is not just about bladder control. It's about your entire lower core working together in harmony. I don't tell you these things to worry you. I tell you because awareness is the first step toward healing. You can't strengthen what you don't understand. You can't care for what you ignore. So if any of these signs feel familiar, even just a little, I want you to know that there is hope. Truly, this is not something you have to accept or endure in silence. You can take action, and it doesn't require extreme workouts, surgeries, or anything scary. It just starts with knowing your body and listening when it speaks. You might be wondering, but is it too late for me? I've had these issues for years. And to that, I say with absolute certainty, no, it is never too late. One of the most beautiful things I see in my work is the resilience of women who've decided to care for themselves, no matter their age. I've seen women in their 70s, 80s, even 90s improve their symptoms simply by starting small. The human body is remarkable. Even after decades of wear and tear, it responds to care, to movement, to love. Your muscles still want to work for you. You just have to invite them back to life. I want to share a story with you. A lovely woman named Marjorie came to see me at the age of 76. She was embarrassed to talk about her leakage issues, but after a few quiet minutes, she opened up. She told me how she'd stopped going to her weekly book club because she was afraid of having an accident. I just don't feel like myself anymore, she whispered. We talked gently and openly, and I showed her a few simple exercises to start doing at home. Nothing fancy, just small, consistent steps. 3 months later, she came back beaming. She said, "Dr. Hartley, I danced at my granddaughter's wedding, and I wasn't worried once." That's the kind of joy I want for every woman. So here's what I encourage you to do today. Take stock. Not with fear, but with curiosity. Notice your body. Notice your habits. Are you always looking for the nearest bathroom? Are you avoiding long walks or car rides? Are you adjusting your clothing or pads to feel safer? These little behaviors tell us something. They're not signs of weakness. They're invitations. Invitations to start fresh, to begin a new chapter where your body is not something to hide from, but something to embrace and strengthen. And remember, strength doesn't mean doing 100 squats or running marathons. Strength can mean pausing for 5 minutes each day to breathe, to connect, to gently contract those inner muscles. Strength can mean speaking kindly to yourself when things feel frustrating. It can mean asking for help or talking to your doctor, or just saying, "I'm ready to take care of me now." The truth is, healing isn't about perfection, it's about progress. If today you start to recognize the signs, if today you decide to befriend your body again, that's more than enough. That's courage, that's wisdom, that's love. You have carried others for so long, children, partners, family, even communities. Now it's time to carry yourself with that same tenderness. Your pelvic health matters, not just because it affects your body, but because it affects your spirit, your freedom, your joy. You deserve to live with ease and confidence. And I'm here to walk that path with you, one step at a time. That we've taken time to understand the signs and signals of pelvic floor weakness, it's time to turn our attention to what we can do about it. The real, gentle, practical steps you can take right at home to build strength and confidence again. And let me tell you this right up front, these exercises aren't about overexerting yourself. They don't require fancy equipment or a gym membership. You don't even need to leave your living room. All you need is a few minutes a day and a little bit of patience with yourself. That's it. Just you and your body, working together with kindness. The first exercise I want to talk about is something you may have heard of before, the Kegel. I like to call this the quiet power move. It's discreet, simple, and incredibly effective when done consistently. I've had patients who regained full bladder control just by doing Kegels regularly for a few months. So how does it work? Let's begin by finding the right muscles. The best way to describe it is to imagine trying to stop the flow of urine midstream, or trying to hold in gas in a social setting. That slight lift or squeeze you feel. That's your pelvic floor activating. It's subtle, but once you've found it, you'll know it. It's like your body is giving you a little wink. You're reconnecting with a part of yourself that might have been forgotten for a while. Now here's how you practice while sitting, standing, or lying down. Whatever feels most comfortable, gently squeeze those muscles. Hold the squeeze for about 3 seconds, then release and rest for 3 seconds. At first, you might feel unsure or like nothing is happening, and that's okay. This isn't about perfection, it's about practice. Aim for 5 to 10 repetitions 2 to 3 times a day. Some women like to pair it with daily habits, while brushing their teeth, during commercials, or before bed. Consistency is more important than intensity. As you get stronger, you can build up to holding the contraction for 5 seconds, then 10 seconds. But never push too hard. You want a gentle, controlled squeeze, not a clenching of your stomach or thighs. Think of it like a gentle elevator going up one floor, not a rocket launch. It's slow, mindful, and quiet. You can do it at the dinner table at church, even in line at the grocery store. No one will know but you. One thing I always tell my patients is, Kegels are like watering a garden. You won't see blooms overnight, but with time, love, and regular care, the results will come. And those results aren't just physical, they're emotional too. Women tell me they feel more in control, more steady, more confident. One woman, Barbara, told me after a few weeks of Kegels, she stopped wearing pads entirely for short outings. I felt free for the first time in years, she said. That freedom, that joy, is possible for you too. Let's move on to another gentle yet powerful exercise, the bridge pose. Now don't let the name scare you. This isn't a yoga headstand or anything fancy. It's a simple movement that helps engage your pelvic floor, glutes, and core. All the muscles that support your lower body and stability. To do it, lie on your back on a soft surface like your bed or a yoga mat. Bend your knees, keeping your feet flat on the floor and about hip width apart. Let your arms rest comfortably at your sides. Now slowly press through your feet and lift your hips toward the ceiling, just a few inches. You don't have to go high. As you lift, gently squeeze your bottom and think about engaging your pelvic floor, like we practiced with the Kegel. Hold for a few seconds, then slowly lower down. Start with 5 repetitions and gradually work your way up to 10. If you feel any discomfort in your back or hips, pause and adjust. You're not in a race. You're in a relationship with your body, and like all good relationships, it thrives on kindness and listening. The bridge pose helps strengthen the backside of your body, your glutes and hamstrings, which play a big role in supporting your pelvic floor. Plus, it encourages better posture and alignment, which can help with back pain and overall movement. Many women find that just doing bridges a few times a week helps them feel more stable and strong while walking or climbing stairs. You might even feel a little taller, a little more upright, and that's a lovely feeling. And now we come to something equally important, maybe even more so, and that's the mindset you bring to this journey. Because let's be honest, sometimes we start something new, and when we don't see instant results, we feel discouraged. We say, "Oh, I'm too old for this." I hear those words so often, and every time I gently smile and say, "Not true. You are not too old. You are not too late. You are exactly where you need to be. Progress may be slow at first. That's normal. These are deep muscles, and they need time to wake up and rebuild. Some days you might forget to do your exercises. That's okay. Forgive yourself and try again tomorrow. The important thing is to keep going. Even small improvements matter. If you go from waking up 3 times at night to just once, that's a victory. If you laugh a little harder without worry, that's freedom. If you start walking taller, feeling stronger, that's healing. And it counts. Be proud of yourself for showing up, for reading this, for caring enough to take this step. Too often, we dismiss our own needs or put ourselves last. But your health is not a luxury. It's your foundation. You can't pour from an empty cup. And this journey you're on, this strengthening, reconnecting, honoring your body, it's a gift you're giving yourself. A gift you deserve. And always remember, you are not alone. Women all over the world are quietly doing these same exercises, rebuilding strength, reclaiming comfort, and rediscovering their confidence. You are part of that sisterhood, that circle of strong, wise women who refuse to give up on themselves. So take a deep breath. Place a hand gently on your lower belly. Thank your body for all it's done for you, all it's still doing. And then, when you're ready, begin. Just a few minutes a day. With love, with patience, with hope. You are stronger than you think, and I'll be right here cheering you on every step of the way.